What's up everyone? Today's video I'm going to show you how and why I brush in some of my tree stands. The number one reason I brush in my tree stands is the tree I need to be in to have the best opportunity to harvest a deer has no natural cover. I call this setting up in a telephone pole. Number two would be taking a kid or a new hunter. It really helps hide your movement of two hunters in the same tree. The third reason why, 99% of the time, I'm self-filming my hunts. So when I have a deer coming in, I'll have my bow in one hand, my other hand's on the camera, and sometimes that creates a lot of movement, especially during the rut when you have one coming in fast. So having that brush around me, above me, really helps conceal my movement. Alright, the rest of this video should show you how I brush in a couple of my stands. I also give a breakdown on my setup. Okay, I just want to add, I'm not cutting down all the oak trees on my property to be able to brush in my stands. I have an electric power line that runs through my property, and I get the majority of my oak brush off of the edges of it, because the linemen are going to come in and cut them down or spray them anyhow. And occasionally I'll get some lower oak limbs from trees back in the woods that are just going to get shaded out and die anyhow. But very rarely do I ever cut down an entire oak tree. I'm at my 5-point stand, one of the best stands on my property. It's in between multiple food plots, bedding areas. I have a major trail system. There's probably over 12 different four-wheeler and deer trails that all go by in bow range of this stand. It's a double ladder stand, so I can take my daughter hunting. And the bad part about the double stand is it has a railing on it, so I have to stand up to shoot my compound out of it. So I want really good cover so I can maneuver around with a buck in range of me. I got some artificial Christmas tree limbs. I got some oak limbs over there I'm gonna use. I already stood these two poles up. This pole right here, this maple pole right here, just have it wired off to a T-post and then wired off to my stand up there for a little extra support. It's a little wobbly, but I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Put a bunch of oak limbs clear up above me, beside me. Put some of those Christmas tree limbs on there as well. It's gonna be like a ground blind in a tree. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. There's the 5-point stand all brushed in. About as good as I can get it. I used every bit of brush I drug back here. All these trees are maple and cherry trees, so by the time the rut turns on, all the leaves will be dropped. That oak brush is still gonna be holding leaves on it. Middle food plot stand. I'm gonna start to brush it in. I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Good enough for this year. I'll show you a couple different angles from the ground to it, and then I'll climb up in it and give you a view and kind of explain the setup a little bit. Quick tip before I climb up there. All my bow ropes, I always make a way to anchor them down here. Nothing's worse than coming to your stand in the dark and your bow rope's hung up in a limb 8 foot above you from the wind blowing it around. Saves you some time and headaches. Another thing is Google, YouTube, how to make a DIY safety line. All of our stands have them. Quick and easy, and you're always connected to the tree. All right, I'll climb up there and give you a view from the stand. We walk in from this direction. We hunt it with the wind blowing this direction. It's actually a nice pinch. When I designed putting a food plot here, I made it so this would kind of make a funnel. You got a marsh that runs down through there, food plot behind me, and with a good northwest wind, a lot of times it's like our scent goes right over top of them. We have a trail that goes here up into the gas well clear cut. There's the food plot. 5-point stands down there like 170 yards away. There's tons of bedding, 100 to 300 yards away. Same as beyond there's tons of bedding. Over that way is the driveway clear cut, the big swamp bedding area. Swamp stand. I'm gonna brush it in today. I've got these 2 big maple poles. I'm gonna stand up there so I can add some brush above me and beside me, in front of me. Pound my T-post in and wire them off, and we'll be ready to brush it in. Just a quick tip, if you're gonna try to brush your stand in, it's much easier if you have 2 people doing it. But most of my limbs that go up high above me, I have to use 2 oak limbs. So I'll tie them together in 2 spots, 3 spots to hold them up. Same as this one here, I have it all tied together. Then I'll hook 1 branch up to my bow rope right here. Then I take another piece of rope that's connected to the bow rope. That'll be connected to the next pile of brush. So I can take that one up, get it all wired up, pull up the next one, and it saves me a trip of going up and down the ladder twice. Just finished brushing in the swamp stand. Right there is where I've shot my last 2 bucks. Middle food plots over there. Hill climb plots over that way. The big swamp bedding areas behind me. Over there, probably 300 yards, is the driveway clear cut. Have all my shooting lanes cut. There's my mock scrape. The gas well clear cuts over there across the marsh. That's the horseshoe food plot. And there's about a 3-acre bedding area over through here we call the rut nest. My daughter shot her first crossbow buck right about there last season, early October. Our entrance exit trails right back through here, right into our backyard that's only a little over 100 yards away. I shot a buck that we call Daggers right there probably 5 years ago-ish. Awesome spot all season. This is a good stand. It's kind of like the 5-point stand. It's in between so many land features that a lot of deer get funneled through here. I'm gonna climb down and I'll show you a couple views from what it looks like on the ground. Yeah, I'm back at the Pine Point stand, and looks like we're gonna have a good red oak crop this year. Yeah, I got all my lanes cut for the Pine Point stand. That goes right off the tip of the point. There's a good trail. There's like a little flat right here beside the creek, has some black oaks mixed in with the hemlocks. And right here's the point. Mock scrapes over there. All the oaks are about 40 yards to 100 yards up the hill from me. And there's about a 20-acre clear cut that's premium bedding right down that ridge over there. This ridge that goes up, it's just hemlock and some oak. Across the ravine on that other hillside, it's like wide open maple tree hillside. Same as the ridge that goes down there to the north, it's just wide open woods. But in the valley over there, it's premium bedding. So during the rut, this can be an amazing stand any time of day. They go from that creek bottom bedding up this point to the top of the ridge into the clear cut.